So far, we've actually not seen any impact on our business. About 60% of our business comes from the US. And we've had good growth. We announced our results just a few days ago for the last quarter. A strong growth in the US, strong growth in financial services across all of the sectors. Of course, the work that's going on within the US and the concern with the slowdown, with the shutdown, will result in some impact downstream if it's not addressed at one stage.
And perhaps the concern is it's coming at a time where it's late stage growth in the United States. People are worried that perhaps there won't be an infrastructure plan because of the stalemate in Washington. As it pertains to your business going forward, are you already seeing any waning confidence from U.S. corporates, any dip in demand for your business services?
You know, again, we've not seen any dip in demand. Of course, this has been a long growth cycle. With the shutdown and with some other activities globally, there's some concern that this could start to slow down. There's talk about it, but in real demand terms, there's no real impact.
Is that true globally for your business as well?
Also, so our European business actually grew faster than our US business in the last quarter, and that's going well. Asia Pacific for us, mainly Australia and Japan, that also grew nicely.
Okay.
So all of those at this stage seem to be okay.
Yeah, we were talking about this PwC survey about pessimism out there, talking about the IMF downgrades. Do you think there is a disconnect between the real fundamentals there and the sentiment?
It's difficult to say because in many ways the view is because it's gone on for so long, the expansion, it should come to some slowing. Yeah. But when you talk to people, and especially on digital investments, we still see massive growth. We had 30% growth in digital. And so that's not something that's going to quickly disappear to zero in the coming years.
Tell me a bit more about what's happening in your home market, because also part of that PwC survey, they really mentioned that India was seen as a rising star for global companies looking for investment outside of their own countries. Have you been encouraged by the developments there? Any reason to be worried about a pareback in reforms as we get closer to elections?
Well, I think the good news with the domestic market in India is the growth's been sustained over the last several years. And at 7.4 to 7.8%, that's a strong growth on a fairly large economy now. The changes that are being put in place are all starting to support the growth, especially the GST, the goods and services tax we've had. Of course, the elections in the near future, but we don't see any change in the way the government is approaching business. If anything, there'll be more focus on making sure the business grows. And with the elections quickly done, I think the growth will continue on.